All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's May 15th, 2026, and in this video, I'm going to be soldering this little battery lug terminal, whatever you want to call it, whatever the proper name is for it, onto a wire that isn't here. Actually, my uncle was stopped at my house last night and asked if I could solder it on for him. I don't know if he doesn't know how or what, but whatever. I told him yeah, that I could do it, so I figured I'd take a video in case someone else doesn't know how to do this or is looking for a way to do this. So with one of these, the way I've done it in the past, at least, and it's worked for me, is I put this in my vise or something. I mean, if you don't have a vise, you can just try and get it to sit somewhere where it's upright. Excuse me, and that you can get a torch at it without starting whatever's around it on fire. So if you don't have a vise, you can find something like that. And then you're also going to need solder and flux to actually do the soldering. But they actually make, I believe, like little slugs that you can put inside here, just so it makes it easier to get that solder to flow and melt. But what I'm going to do is I just put it in my vise, and then we'll heat it up and just put a bunch of solder in there until it's like, I don't know, quarter of the way full, halfway full, and then I'll bring it up to my uncle's and strip the wire, get that cleaned, put it on, and then all you have to do is heat it up, and you don't have to sit there and hopefully try and feed a bunch of solder into it. But yeah, so let's see if we can get this done quick. All right, and also just wanted to mention, you might possibly need a pair of nippers, dikes, or side cutters, or flush cutters, whatever, some sort of cutters or wire strippers to cut the wire you're going to be putting the lug onto with. You might not need it, or you might, but yeah, just wanted to mention that. Oh, and also this is kind of optional. I'd recommend doing either putting tape or something similar on after you get that lug on there, slide a piece of heat shrink over it. Is there any wide enough in here? That's marine heat shrink. This one should have some that are wide enough, but they're black, so I don't know. I'll just bring them both. If you don't have a torch and so a solder, or you don't feel comfortable doing that, they also make, like, for replacing these battery terminal lugs, they make all sorts of different kinds of them. You might just have to go around to your different hardware stores and find the right ones. But for example, here's one that I've got in my little bits and bob box. That one has like a screw down terminal, so you just put the wire in there and you just reef down on that screw till it squishes it, and then that makes your connection. I don't know if this one would quite work in that application, being that hole is so much smaller, but just figured I'd mention that in case someone doesn't feel like soldering or whatever. But all right, enough babbling. Let's fill this thing up with solder and then go up and put that on there. My uncle's going camping in like an hour here, so get it done before he gets home and leaves, hopefully. I'm just going to use whatever plumbing flux I have, and then, or plumbing solder, sorry. I'm going to use this stuff, actually. And then some flux here too. I don't know if there's really such thing as too much flux. Maybe. What do I know? Not much. should really only have to heat that thing for a few seconds. It'll be hot enough. I got this torch, but it doesn't work. There we go. Alright. That's really, should be all there is to that. Oh, I'm not going to grab it right yet. It's probably still pretty hot, but hopefully you can see down in there it's nice and goobered up with soda. So, just gotta go back up there and shove the thing back on and heat it back up again, and then, yeah, go from there. Oh, I also don't know where that wire is going to be located exactly at my uncle's. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm also going to bring a wet rag, or not a wet rag, but a rag that I can get wet in case I need to keep the stuff from behind the wire from starting on fire. Super windy today here in Minnesota. There's actually a red flag warning, which is a fire warning, in case you didn't know that, which means fire will spread fast and easily. So yeah, and it's also kicking tons of dust up, if you can't tell by a freaking windshield here. I need to wash the car, but I might wait until it's not so windy to do that. But all right, let's go up to my uncle's. Camera back up once I've got it set up and ready to stop. All right, here's the wire that I'm gonna put that thing on. But just to avoid the chance of starting any of this stuff on fire, I'm gonna pull this wire off here and do it away from right here so I don't start anything on fire. But yeah, before you pull any wires off of anything, make sure you know where they go and how to put them back. But yeah, pick the camera back up once I've got it set up to solder. All right, well, the other end of that crimp connector, or the other end of that wire, I should say, it fell off when I pulled it out. Where is it? It's a different size one, but you can see it wasn't smushed down at all. So I'm gonna get that thing put back on as well while I'm doing this. So just got my flux, my solder, piece of shrink tubing for after I'm done, and my 2 terminal lines. So let's try and get this done first. Actually remember to put the heat shrink on first for once. That's good. Uncle's voice likes to wobble. not to burn the wire like I just did. The wind is not helping. Come on. Wow, I melted a lot of that wire. But it's soldered, so pulling as hard as I can on it. So let's go get this one, or slide our heat shrink back over here, over all our crusty wire. Yeah, good and soldered. Just burnt. Slide our heat shrink. There we go. All right. Not burn at all, like I just did a second ago. All right, there's that. So we'll get this thing put back on and be done with it. Where did I put my nut driver? Nut ended up being a 10mm tray. Snug back up. Alright, there we go. Now just gotta put this end back onto the battery. And yeah, you should probably disconnect it, but I'm not doing it. If you don't feel comfortable with doing it with it connected, then don't, but I'm gonna do my best not to wiggle any of these wires, being that that last one popped off so easily. Don't want to do it twice. Try not to arc across the two terminals. Alright, there we go. Everything is reinstalled, nice and tight.
Ah, tight, yeah! Ah, blue, yellow, pink, whatever, man, just keep bringing me that.
All the big terminals. The 3 wires I took off are reinstalled, so put this little battery cover back for him, however it was on there. I don't really know how that was sitting on there, but as long as nothing's gonna pop out, that should be fine. I think my uncle was under here anyway, so he can put that back on how he took it off. So, call that done. One day I hope to have a camper. Doesn't have to be this nice, but a camper nonetheless. Alright, well, yeah, pretty simple job, even though I ended up having to do both ends of it, like you saw there. So yeah, maybe this helps someone. If you watched it, thanks for watching.